and welcome to Happy Fisherman Adventures.
I hope, I dream, I wish to catch a big fish, and I do it when I can. I'm a happy fisherman, and I do it when I can. I'm a happy fisherman.
Today's episode is a continuation of our last week's episode, Tuna Fever in Portland.
Before we go, actually, I would just like to congratulate young Cody Formosa, who actually got the right answer for us. We actually asked why Misha lost his fish. And yes, the answer was he was using the wrong setup. He had a bidder spinning reel on an overhead rod. And that's just big no-no. So there is a t-shirt and a cap coming your way.
Congratulations, Cody. And now, before we show the next video, I would love to say what an amazing time we had in Portland. The Portland Hooked On Festival was on. We met some beautiful people. Women in Recreational Fishing were there, and we met a couple of them. We met Robyn and Michelle. Then we also met Lee Rayner. And we met a local guy, Vince, who showed us the quickest way to fillet and clean the tuna.
Our new friend.
Thank you, Vince.
So, yeah. Well, to be honest, Robyn came on an adventure with us. We have such a beautiful footage and a lot of it. But today we're only going to use the day 3 when actually Robyn did Sunday. And Robyn came on board with us, first time on the board.
Yes.
She fishes from kayak. And she never been on the boat before. First time for her chasing tuna, catching tuna, and
seeing wild dolphins.
Dolphins, amazing! So everything went her way, and she was smiling like not tomorrow.
And singing.
So let's watch the first video. Enjoy. It is Sunday, 24th of April 2022, and we are ready to go out and chase some tuna. Will on his boat had Carl, while we had a special guest from Women in Recreational Fishing, Robyn. Robyn has never been on the boat before.
This is one of the best days of my life. Happy Fisherman!
Beside us and Will, we had famous Lee Rayner going out solo on his 4.81 meter boat. Our mission was to pass Lawrence Rocks and then try to spot some birds or any wildlife interaction, then start trolling. And that's exactly what happened. Mima spotted some birds working just in front of us, and we were ready. As we passed on the side of that patch, the game was on.
Fish on! Fish on! Bravo!
As you can see, Robyn was very excited to hook her first ever tuna. She does a lot of inland fishing on her kayak, and she does catch some massive Murray cod and other species, but this was a little bit different. Jerry was on the wheel, I was moving the stuff out of the way while the girls were fighting the fish. A few times they had to swap places, but everything worked pretty smooth.
Yes.
Girls fishing.
Because we're the happy fisherman.
All the way through, Robyn had a $1 million smile and kept singing the Happy Fisherman song.
Right behind the motor. Yeah, mine too. Need to try and steer it to the side.
On that side. On the side, both.
Yeah.
Okay, and keep this way.
Go to the right. That's better.
That's it.
That's better. Yeah.
Okay.
I go under the under. No, the other. No, that's right. That's right. Yes, good. Good. I can see mine. No, I can see my fish.
It's a lot of leaders there. Okay, so just keep it. Okay, one at a time.
Yep. Yours. One's still out the back.
That's a big one.
Oh, yes! Yes! Woo! Yes!
Bring the ladder up.
Get the other one up.
We managed to land Robyn's fish, now it's Mima's turn.
Okay, this time, yeah?
Please, get it. Double hook up for the women. Yes. Yes. Yeah. In. Woo! Yes. Woo! Yes.
That's
Yeah. Woo! Yes.
good one, teamwork, guys.
Very good.
Well, we managed to land the second one as well, and it was time to move on.
My first tuna.
Well done.
Yes.
We're gonna take a picture a little bit later.
Yes, when they don't flopping around.
No long after, we had another hookup.
You wanna grab this one out, please?
In the next video, we are going to continue to show Robyn's happy adventure.
This time, Jerry was in the battle. This fish did make him go from side to side, but he was in control. In the meantime, we managed a little bit of underwater footage just before I took the gaff and landed this fish. thing that's very important is to properly bleed your tuna, and even you can do it just with a knife. The Panaquatic tools by Hookum makes life easy. While I was doing just that, Mima was searching for some birds. In no time, we are on again. This time, Robyn was on her second fish.
There's Robyn, and she's actually in trouble. She's in pain.
No, I'm having the time of my life.
Again, great teamwork, and the fish was in the boat. Then, to make Robyn's day even more special, Dolphins put up a show all around the boat.
Happy dolphin! Oh! Woo! Happy dolphin, happy fisherman! Woohoo! Look at the show! Oh yes! Beautiful! That is magnificent!
We had 7 fish in total, and 4 of those were landed by Robyn herself. For her, this was a day to remember. Then it was time to go back to Portland and fillet our fish. Here we met with our friends Marco and Luke from Sharkman Charters, and they had the fish of the day, 128 kilo bluefin tuna. We started filleting our catch, and in no time we had a local guy, Vince, helping us and showing us a simple and efficient way how to fillet our catch. In meantime, our friends Spiros and Mika arrived, and Chiquita had her little friend Machkin to play with. Then, after all that, nice tuna steaks on a barbecue for everyone. In the next video, you're gonna see Luke, this young gun, also known as Goldie. He actually works for Sharkman Charters at the moment in Portland, and he's gonna show us how to properly rig up for a barrel. And I can tell you, I was amazed. The young one is definitely a top gun.
G'day guys, it's Goldie from Sharkman Charters here, and today I'm going to walk you guys through on how to rig a barrel lure, or how I like to rig a barrel lure. So what I'm going to start off with, I've got the skirt of choice, about a 10-inch skirt. I've got a 10-0 jobu, just to match the lure, 3 1.5mm crimps, some chafe tube, and just some 200-pound leader. And also a lighter, your jinkine crimpers, and just some scissors. So first off, what I like to do, guys, is just to measure out some leader. I want to go about 1.5 arms length of leader, so you just measure it out. Go 1, go 2, that's about it. You don't need to go too long, because if you do go too long, that can help you lose the fish. All right, so what you want to start off with, guys, first, get your 2 crimps, thread them on the line. You can cut your line on an angle to make sure the crimp goes in through, because you will have to double the line up through the crimps. So you always cut your line on an angle, just to help it get it through. Then once your 2 crimps are on the line, you want to get your 10-0 jobu, place it on the line, and this is where we're going to begin a stiff rig. So once again, you always want to leave a nice length of leader because that's what's got to determine where your hook sits in the skirt. So always leave a nice, probably about 5-6 inches of leader for yourself. And for the stiff rig to happen, what you want to do is you want to wrap once away from yourself, then twice, and then once you've gone up twice, what you want to go do is thread it back up through the eye of the hook. Not down, not up, you want to go back up through the eye of the hook. And make sure to pull it really, really tight because those two lines can't be loose. Otherwise, if they're loose, then they rub on each other and can eventually rub you off and break and lose your fish of a lifetime. So once you've done that, make sure it's real tight. You want to grab your first 1.5mm crimp, thread it on both lines. As I've said, you've cut the angle on the line so you can go right onto both lines easy. And you want to push that crimp right onto the line. Make sure to push that double over too, because that's what's going to help it keep it stiff. Reason being a stiff rig, it's not going to spin and it's going to sit in the skirt really nice. So then you want to get your crimpers. On the Jinkai crimps, I like to use the top one because we are using a bigger crimp, being a 1.5mm crimp. And what you want to do is you have to flare the end. So you always want to leave just a little gap between the end of it. You don't have to do anything special. And with these 1.5mm crimps, guys, you will have to do it 3 times. So you do it once, little gap, twice, leave a little gap again, and make sure to flare the ends always. And this is what your crimp should look like after you've done 3 beautiful crimps, and it looks nice and even and also good presentation as well. Then once you've done that, guys, this is where you want to grab your skirt, and this is where you're going to measure the hook placement in the skirt. So what I like to do, I always feel for the bottom of the skirt. There's basically where the head is, and that's where the crimp's going to sit because that's where the line goes through. And what you want to do, guys, is put your hook just where, because you want the hook tip just in the skirt. Like I like it just in the skirt, just like that. I like to measure it out. I put my thumb where the line is right on the 2 to measure it out. I keep my fingers on there, and that's what I have to cut off. And that's because I have to cut that off, that's going to determine where the hook sits, and that hook's going to sit right in the base of the skirt where I want it. So you cut where you've put your 2 fingers. Make sure to cut on an angle because that's what's going to help you get the crimp through. And this is what you want to do. This is a bit of a hard part. So what you want to do here is, guys, to get your loops and to all right, you want to moisten them up a bit, get a bit of lubricant on them so they don't rub or burn. And then what you want to do, get the 2 and make a bit of a V. You don't want to press too much and create a crease because that can cut you off, but you just want to make that V, and that's going to help you make the twists a lot easier on yourself. And then you want to begin twisting nice, strong, tight twists. And you just slowly move your fingers up as you begin to twist. And remember, you have to twist all the way to the end because you've measured that hook. So where the end of the line is where it's going to determine the hook is going to sit. So this is where you want to get your other crimp. Make sure it doesn't run up to the other end of the line. You want to make sure it's right at the tippy top because, as I said, you've measured it, and this is going to determine where your hook sits. So once you've got the tip of the line just out the top of the crimp, what you want to do is just hold it, get your crimpers, and this is when you want to begin your 3 crimps. Once again, like the first one, flare the ends, because if you don't flare the ends, it's going to cut you off and lose your fish of a lifetime. Do the first, you flared the end, little gap in between. Do that one. Then remember, flare the end on the last one, always. And hopefully, because I've measured that, this hook is going to sit perfectly right in the end of the skirt. So then when you want to thread your line through the base of the skirt, up through the head, otherwise if you put it on backwards, you're not going to catch a fish. Once you've threaded it through, hopefully with my measurements, I've done it right, and the hook should be right in the base of the skirt, as it is. And that's your perfect way to rig for a barrel. And then what you want to do is grab that chafe tube you've cut earlier. And what you're going to do, you're going to thread that other 1.5mm crimp on. Remember, cut the end so it can go double up through the crimp. Place the crimp on first. Then you want to get your chafe tube you've cut. Place it on the line. And this is where you'll need a lighter too, guys, just to burn the end to create a mushroom. And I'll show you guys, when you burn this mushroom here, you don't want to overburn it, otherwise you could wreck the line. So you just want to do it so there's a nice little bulb on the end, basically forming a little mushroom. And that's going to help you keep your line in the water as well as not slipping through the crimp. And you pull it tight. I haven't even crimped that yet, and I can guarantee it won't pull through. And there you go, I haven't even crimped that yet. It's strong as an ox. And then that's when you want to do your 3 crimps. So the first one, flare, remember, always flare the ends. Always take your time rigging barrel lures, guys, because you're after a fish of a lifetime, so you don't want to lose it because of a silly mistake. And once you've done that 3rd crimp, you're done. You've done your barrel lure, you've done your right connection, and now you want to loop it up, wrap it up, all nice and neat. You don't want to crimp the leader or anything like that. You want it all nice and neat. Wrap it up. Keep wrapping it up. Then start threading the line through it a few times right till you get to the end of the loop, and then you can place that in your lure wrap or on your snap swivel and put it straight in the water. Thanks for watching, guys, and that's how I like to rig.
In the next video, you're going to see Will and Carl's adventure and how they hooked up a big fish, and you'll see what happened.
And we're on. Double!
We had 2. One of them got rubbed off. Will, go on in. Let's go. Oh, come on, Will. This fish is bigger than you. You alright? Oh, he's stripping already. We're gonna be nude by the end of this, baby. Woo-hoo-hoo! Bring it on. Tuna for days. Want to get it out of the you know?
Just before we go, I would like to say that we have so much more beautiful footage that we couldn't fit in today's episode. So we're going to have it uploaded to our Happy Fisherman YouTube channel. So yeah, just keep eye on that. There is triple hookups. There is some, we lost some fish. It was just amazing.
It's part of the fun. And I really would like to add one more thing. Ladies, join the Women in Recreational Fishing on Facebook page and start enjoying some quality time.
Definitely. Thank you for watching, and yeah, we'll see you next week.
I hope, I dream, I wish to catch a big fish, and I do it when I can. I'm a happy fisherman, and I do